bring your right arm forward, wherever you are, and put your left hand onto the bottom tip of your shoulder blade. Can you feel the bottom tip of your shoulder blade? So you feel like run your fingers like down the very bottom of the shoulder blade all the way into the inner part of the shoulder blade and then the outer part of the shoulder blade. Okay, so you're just really aware of, that's what we call like the tip of the scapula of the shoulder blade. So like right here is where you are with your fingers. Here, okay? Feel that part. Okay, now keep your fingers there on that part, okay? And turn your arm out. So I want you to really feel what happens to your scapula, to your shoulder blade, when you turn your arm out in your shoulder. Not your forearm and your hand and your wrist. Turn your arm way up at your shoulder. Turn your arm. Okay, your forearm and your hand's going to turn, but don't rely on this. Like, okay, somebody could just hold it there, be steady, and like turn your arm and your shoulder. What happens to your shoulder blade?
It moves down.
It moves down. And what? Is there anything else?
It goes down.
In. It should go in. Yeah, so what you should be feeling is that the shoulder blade pulls down and moves in closer to your spine.
Yeah.
Okay? When you externally rotate your arm and your shoulder, your scapula should go down and in towards the medial part of your body, towards your spine. Okay? So what Valerie was saying is that if you really think of turning the arm from there, from those muscles in your back, not just like, you know, but like really getting the rotation way up here in the shoulder blade, you'll have a better time of it with your, you know what I mean, rather than just
Yeah, because I was doing it a lot in the first weekend, just turning the arm bone, and I got really inflamed.
Yeah.
And then I was like, whoa, it's actually the shoulder that moves.
It's the shoulder.
And then the arm bone goes with it, and then you spiral out.
Yes.
And that helped me a lot to understand that I wasn't turning at the top of the arm.
No.
I'm turning at my shoulder blade.
Yes, you're turning your shoulder blade.
Yeah.
It's probably much more specific. So does everybody get that? Okay, so put your arms out like you're in downward facing dog. Okay, so here you are, arms forward, wrists are flexed. Wrists are flexed, fingers spread, arms are shoulder width apart. Okay, now, when you start to externally rotate the arm, do it from your shoulder and don't let your forearms and your hands move. Don't let this move. Just keep that steady. And literally try to wrap your shoulder blades in and down. Draw your shoulder blades in and down. Okay, so that what occurs is your chest broadening and your arms turning out. You feel it's a much deeper action. Do you get that?
So is that what you, like, that's an example. What I'm interested in is like what we can say to people who don't understand. Externally rotate, like, putting it in that kind of jargon that's accessible. So would you say, you know,
here's the thing, in the beginning, you're just going to say, it's going to be enough to just say, straighten your arms, put your hands down, and stretch back. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, unless there's a real, like, car crash that's happening. Do you know what I mean? Like, and what I mean by car crash is like somebody's like in down dog with this. You know what I mean? It's like a real car crash. Don't worry about it for now. This is for your knowledge to really understand the mechanics of what's happening. So that when you look at somebody in a pose, you're like, I know what's going on. And then from there, you can work to instruct them a little bit more intelligently and give them the proper adjustments, okay? Because you're not gonna be like, externally rotate your arms and downward facing. Externally rotate the humerus bone, and the shoulder. You know, you're not gonna use that language, okay? Unless you're an anatomist and you love that and you're gonna actually teach people what that means, fantastic. But most of you aren't gonna do that. So, what I said to you earlier is I said, put these two things together. Broaden the chest. Okay, so bring your arms down by your side. Okay, when your arms are just hanging there, okay, what is the, it's easier if you stand up, I think. Okay, so if your arms are just, when you're standing there, if your arms are just hanging by your side, okay, just really be present to the position of your shoulder. It's forward, right? Right, if you're just present to it, that's the normal position, is the arm to roll forward and down. Okay, now, all I'm going to ask you to do is broaden the distance between those two shoulders. And there it is. Okay? That's a simple, so, because what happens when you do that? What do you feel happens when you do that? Shoulder blades come together, and the arms start to, oh my God, miraculously start to turn out a little bit, okay? Because yeah, if you get people into too much of that like manipulation of the arms in there, it can cause like some inflammation in it because they're trying too hard and not really understanding the shoulder, what the shoulder blade is doing, okay? That being said, in downward facing dog, once you start weight bearing on your arms and giving those instructions, people don't know what is going on. It's so much harder when you're weight bearing to really feel that. You can feel it in child's pose because you're not weight bearing on the arms. You can manipulate. Like when you're standing here, you're like, oh yeah, like I get it. Now I'm going to downward facing dog, and you're like, you know, because now you're weight bearing and you can't do that same kind of thing. So don't try. Make sure you're not overdoing that action as well, right? Okay, so Heather, let's come back again. So come into child's pose. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because it's a really important and valid point. Okay, so to simplify it now, Vanessa. Okay, what could we say to her instead of saying? First of all, we can definitely say straighten your arms. Yes. Spread your fingers. Press your hands down into the floor. Yes, and as she presses your hands down, you see her arms just went, whoop, they just like really activate. Okay, those are really simple instructions, okay? Now, broaden your shoulders, Heather. Wow, look at that. Do you see how that just, wow, it's like magic. Like it just started to turn out, okay? Now just leave it alone, okay? She looked, right. Okay, that looked good. That looked great, okay? So, all right, so let's, go ahead, I'm gonna take you into the full pose. Okay? Come into child's pose. Do the same thing. Okay, so stretch your arms, straighten your arms, spread your fingers, press your hands down. Good, broaden your shoulders. Okay, good, that's pretty good. Okay, good, now don't change anything. Come on up onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes into the ground. Lift your, don't move your hands. Lift your knees and hips up and back to downward dog. Okay, so this is it's the going into downward dog where it starts to get tricky now. And this is why Carolina spent so much time with Lilia saying, go slow back into downward facing dog. Because as soon as you start to go back, you start to see she loses that and the whole chest collapses. Okay, so come to plank pose. Let's do what Carolina was doing, okay? So now here, right, what are we going to ask her to do? Straighten your arms. Straighten the arms and broaden the chest, okay? Broaden your chest and now take your shoulder blades more together onto your back. Good, now press down to your index and your thumb. Okay, now when you go back into down dog, Heather, go really slow. Don't lose that. Good. That's it. Keep your chest broad, keep your shoulders broad. That's it. Release your head. Let your neck go. That's it. And just go to the point where you can maintain that. Don't go beyond the point where you can't maintain that. Okay, now she's going to press down her index and her thumb. That's it. Keep broadening your shoulders. Keep broadening. Now I'm doing an assist, okay, a little bit. Okay, and now stretch the sides of your waist up. Stretch your hips up. Lift your hips up. Press your thighs back. Good.
Her hands are a little bit too close.
Are those too close? Yeah, maybe. They're not too close for me. I think part of what it is that what we could have her do, okay, come on down to your hands and knees, is go back to, instead of turning the hands out, make sure that if she does it, it's the whole arm with the hands turning out. It's not just the wrist. Okay, so let's try that this time, okay? So come on onto your hands and knees. Okay. So we already know that starting from this position is not going to give us the proper distance between the hands and the feet. So I'm going to have her walk her knees back a little bit behind her hips. Yeah, okay, good. Now, look straight ahead. Okay, broaden your shoulders. Yes. Okay, so we can address that here. We're not telling her to externally rotate her arms. We're just saying broaden your chest. Okay, straighten your arms. Yes. And push down a little bit more here. Yeah, and keep your chest really broad. So do you see how her shoulder blades now are coming more down and into her back. Okay, lift your ribs up now just a little bit. Yeah. Bring your tailbone back. Yes. But now broaden your chest. But that's so hard, everybody.
Yeah.
It really is.
I did 5 different things to compensate to make it.
Yes, you did. I know. You're doing great. Okay, so keep pressing here, straighten the arms. Good. Now, when you go back, Heather, try not to let this close off. So keep your chest really broad. Okay, and then go ahead and tuck your toes. Lift your knees and hips up and back to downward dog. Much better.
It's hard work.
It's really, really hard work. Does that feel okay if I do that?
Yeah.
This shoulder's got more mobility than that shoulder. And I can actually see here, like, you know, a little bit like the, you know, and you'll see like the scapula kind of wings, it like disconnects from the back. And so we really want the shoulder blade to really, you really want the shoulder blades to settle into the ribs. Like really draw in to the back, really onto the back, okay? And we're gonna do the same assist that Carolina did, is just keep your hands pressing down and give you a little bit more length here. Broaden your shoulders, straighten your arms.
Relax.
That's it, relax your neck. Good. Okay, she's still wanting to turn her wrist out. It's okay, come on in. Great, yeah. Good, Heather, okay, that was great. How was that? Was that okay, your shoulder? Yeah, okay, good. Everybody got that? Okay. Questions?
I feel like with both blades,